السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا خيرة الله وابن خيرته، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين.
وهو العليم القدير. ويوم تقوم الساعة يقسم المجرمون ما لبثوا غير ساعة كذلك كانوا يؤفكون. وقال الذين أوتوا العلم والإيمان لقد لبثتم في كتاب الله إلى يوم البعث فهذا يوم البعث ولكنكم كنتم لا تعلمون. ويومئذ لا ينفع الذين ظلموا معذرتهم ولا هم يستعتبون. ولقد ضربنا للناس في هذا القرآن من كل مثل ولئن جئتهم بآية ليقولن الذين كفروا إن أنتم إلا مبتلون. كذلك يطبع الله على قلوب الذين لا يعلمون. فاصبر إن وعد الله حق ولا يستخفنك الذين لا يوقنون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. God it is who created you out of weakness, and then caused strength after weakness, then caused weakness after strength, and gray hairs. Createth He whatsoever He willeth, and He is the all-knowing, the all-powerful. In the day whereon the hour of judgment arriveth, the guilty will swear that they tarried not but an hour. Even so they used to utter lies on earth. And those who have been given knowledge and faith will say, Indeed tarried ye according to the decree of God till the day of resurrection. So this is the day of resurrection, but ye were wont not to know. But on that day their plea shall not profit those who were unjust, nor will they be allowed to please God. And indeed have we set forth for the people in this Quran every kind of similitude, and if thou bringest unto them a sign, certainly will say those who disbelieve, Ye are not but a false claimant. Thus doth God set a seal on the hearts of those who know not. Therefore be thou patient, for verily the promise of God is true, and let not those who have no certainty hold thee in light estimation. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim. Salawat.
Thank you, Brother Raza. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu 'alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Respected Molana Nasir, our honored guests, Brother Bashir Kumawala, brothers and sisters, and especially the most important people for this evening, the recent graduates of our community. It gives me a great honor and pleasure to get this evening's function started and to welcome the special guests that we have. In each of our lives, we have various stages where we are trying to accomplish various goals, and once we accomplish them, not only do we feel good, but our parents feel good, our relatives and our close ones feel good. And at this time, most of you who have graduated, not only you are happy about it, but the community at large is very happy, and that's why we are all here to recognize your accomplishment. And as a token of that, at the end of this meeting, you'll be given simple plaques, which I hope you'll keep and treasure. I know the ones our older children got, you still hang them even if they have moved from the house, you still have them and feel happy and have good memories for their association with the community and their accomplishments. This evening, We have gotten started a little late, and I guess being Rajab, a lot of people are out with at invitations and whatnot, but maybe as time goes on, they will join us here. Our the guest speaker today, Brother Bashir Kumawala, a close friend of mine for a number of years. I've known him well, and he's not a stranger to this community. He has been here a number of times. A few of you, I think, have had the pleasure and honor of being his student. Some of you maybe have been taught by his wife, Sister Saleha, and some of you might be his students if you go to School of Business. His professional accomplishments I'm not going to enumerate here, but let me tell you, he is recognized both domestically and worldwide as a great scholar as well as a professor in his field of operations management, and he is a professor at the University of Houston. What is very interesting for us at this time to know about Dr. Kumawala is not only his professional accomplishments, but even with all that, he continues to contribute on a regular basis all the time to the Muslim community. He addresses the khutbahs on Friday. He's there in so many various organizations and activities, and with all his accomplishments, he always is very humble and modest. At this time, I'd like to request all of you to give him a hearty welcome, as well as a hearty Islamic welcome by saying a loud salawat. The second person I would like to introduce, and who will take the function further after this point, is one of our recent graduates, Sister Samira Zaidi. Many of you who have been here in this community well know her. She's been a active person in the school while she was in the Sunday school, and she has won numerous scholarships and awards as she has graduated. As a matter of fact, she has been instrumental in getting this evening's function together by contacting all the graduates, their families, and getting the plaques ready and so on. So we wish her the best and thank her for that effort she's made. And at this point, I'd like to request Sister Samira Zaidi to come up and conduct the function. Salawat, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Brother Hassan, for that introduction. Since we're running a little bit late, I just wanted to say thank you for all the parents and students who did end up showing up. It was hard to show up at this sort of time, but we tried to do our best to contact as many graduates as we could, and it was difficult because a lot of them are going out of state and out of city for school, and we weren't sure exactly how many had graduated, and we tried to go back to the class of 99, and we did get quite a few names, and I'm sure some can't show up today, but we would just wanted to intentionally not forget anybody, so please bear with us if we did forget. At this time, I'd like to ask Mohammad Ebrahim to please come up and give a speech.
Assalamualaikum. I don't know if you could call what I have to say a speech because I don't know. Anyway, to all the graduates of 1999 and 2000, I know that all of you, I mean, I can vouch pretty much for everybody, that all of you are very accomplished students, and all of you have what you need to do or what you want to do in mind, and you're completely dedicated and devout in following or pursuing your dreams in the physical respect of, I'm going to be a mechanical engineer, I'm going to be a business major, I'm doing MIS, I want to be an English major, etc. But what I really wanted to say this evening is that I mean, since you guys everybody knows what they're going to do and what they're going to be, and and everybody's so diligent and smart, I just wanted to say that it's good to know what you want to do here, but what you really have to do is take into account what's going to happen after you make your millions of dollars doing whatever you do over here. You have to see, so look at the next slide. And so when thinking about that, you have to, it's like okay, I'm a mechanical engineer, but do I Kumel every Thursday night, or am I I don't know, an active participant in my community? I mean, do people know I exist? Do people know that I'm here to help them? And just like being a part of the community. And so, I was just quoting from the Land of the Path. The Prophet said, "Whoever knows his own self knows his Lord. Moreover, you should acquire that knowledge without which no action is correct, and that is sincerity." Let me read that again, because that could have been kind of confusing. Whoever knows his own self knows his Lord. Moreover, you should acquire that knowledge without which no action is correct, and that is sincerity. So, basically what it's trying to say is that you should acquire the knowledge from which you can decide things that are what are between right and wrong. And so everybody can go to school and study, but acquiring the knowledge the real knowledge, the knowledge that gets you in the Akhirah is way more important. And sometimes I feel that going to college, we concentrate so much on doing well in school, and we have a lot of pressure. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, we have to be successful. We have to get A's, but we often forget that it's Imam Ali's birthday, or it's the Prophet's birthday, or it's Baby Zainab's wafat, and we just don't even show up to the masjid because we have a test the next day, or we have some homework to. And I find myself doing this. I find myself like just concentrating so much on school and other stuff that I forget about the center. I forget about who I really am. I forget about being a Muslim because I'm so focused on being an engineer. And I just think that, that's all something that we have to work on as youth growing up, because first of all, it's not easy because we've all grown up here, and so we've been influenced by the American society. And so it's not easy maintaining an identity as it is. And by not coming to the center or not participating in religious activities or just, forgetting about God, and I know it's really hard, but I think we should all make an effort to just play a greater role in our community and just show up. And it's weird because I know I'm like touching my eye too much. It's weird because just the programs, what we do at the center, like every Saturday or Sunday we have a Quran class, and it's like an hour of your time. You come at 12, you pray namaz, you're out of here by like 1:30, 1:45. And Sunday afternoons, it's busy for everybody, but it's like an hour and 45 minutes. And it's just something that we can do. And you don't have to come here and necessarily learn. You can come here and teach, I'm sure many sisters and brothers do. Just come here and teach and give back to the community that helped make us who we are. I'm looking out and I see everybody. I've been to class with most of these guys. We all had Molana or Brother Karam Ali or somebody. We all had the same teacher, and it was really cool. And that's why we're still here today. I guess if we didn't go to Sunday school and we weren't brought up in the center, then we probably wouldn't be here today. So I'm just asking that everybody play a greater role in your community. Just be a part of the center and and feel good about it, because without the center, without Islam, we don't really know who we are. We can say we're Pakistani or we're Irani or we're Hindustani, whatever, but sometimes we forget that we're Shia Muslims growing up in Houston, and it's so important to realize who you are and what you stand for. I don't know if I brought anything across, but but I just wanted to, because I mean, sometimes I come on like Thursday nights and I'll see like, I'll look around and I'm like, there's nobody here, you know, there's nobody I can talk to, there's nobody I can communicate with, there's nobody I can say, you know, how's school going, because, and on Saturdays, the coolest thing we have going right now is definitely Sunday basketball, because, you know, we all come and they're like 12, 15 people, we're all playing basketball, and then we all go and pray like Jamaat Namaz, and we go and play basketball again, and I think that's definitely the best thing that's happened to our, I guess, for the youth, because it's just so much fun, and I don't know, I guess if we could start more programs like that, or I guess it has to come from the youth themselves. They just have to come and just make an effort, and we'll all be here, and we'll all be good Muslims, and we'll all have good Muslim children, and we'll all be here sitting in the crowd looking at our kids getting flags one day.
I think we should start a female basketball league too. It's a good idea. Now I'd like to call Professor Bashir Kumawala to
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Having thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for my being here, because without His will I would not have been here, neither would you. We all know that. I want to thank the Hassan Ali Khan for inviting me, and I'm very honored to be here. I feel so good to also see Molana here that I've not met for a long time. Such a good pleasure to. And I thank you also for having me here. And I thank you, sister, for inviting me here, and all the graduates, certainly. And certainly congratulations on my behalf and on the behalf of my family and on behalf of the community, because we all owe it to you for being there. I'm going to say a few words, but before I go to talk about why we are gathered here, I'm very impressed with and very touched by the sayings of Imam Khomeini here. I think we need to reflect and make dua for our Palestinian brothers and sisters who are being martyred there and who don't have a voice. The least we can do is pray for their maghfirah, for all those who have been martyred. May Allah forgive them and grant them the highest place in Jannah. And may Allah stop the atrocities that are going on in Palestine. And we need to also feel the pain, as it says here, very rightly. Unless and until we feel the pain of that mother who has lost his child, or her husband, or her father, or a neighbor, or anyone. As we are speaking, those things are going on. And unless and until we feel that pain, then I think we are not part of this community. So the least we can do is make dua for their well-being, and may Allah grant them victory and stop the atrocities that are going on. And in many other parts of the world also, innocents are being killed, and we cannot sit straight without feeling the pain. Now, I think it's certainly a very joyous occasion about why we are gathered here, and I'll just take a few minutes to remind myself and all of us that the first words revealed to Prophet ﷺ was Iqra, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq, Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi allama bil qalam, Alam al-insana ma lam ya'lam. And I will not go into all of that, but simply to remind us that the word Iqra meant education. And certainly I think we have gathered here to celebrate the education process that people have gone through and the achievements that they have gone through. But I think it's also important to realize that education, simply learning, is not enough. Obviously, when we learn something, then we need to put it to use. Otherwise, what good does it do? If I know that smoking is bad, yet I continue to smoke, naturally, I'm hurting myself, and that education, knowing that smoking is bad, is no good. So first and foremost is we need to implement that. And here again, I think we need to, as the brother said very correctly, that education is not simply becoming an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer and making millions of money. That doesn't, this illa mata'ul ghurur, this is deception. And if the kids don't know it, within 5 years, they'll certainly know that that's certainly a deception. What is important is happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, and most importantly for all of us is to be at peace within ourselves and outside, and most importantly in our relationship with the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we are at peace with Allah, our Creator, and the rest of His creation, if we develop ourselves to do that, that's the accomplishment that we like to have in this world, and then most importantly, inshallah, with Allah's mercy, Allah will grant us that happiness, and this is what we live for. Because our goal is long range. We teach in business, always think long. These days the volatility of the stock market also saying, well, think about long range, don't go short term, because you'll get burned. So long range to us Muslims is inherent in us, is long range. Long range is beyond death. So that's, I think, we need to keep in mind. And in that view, that I think we need to also always think that first and foremost is my goal is not simply to become a millionaire, but what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with, and how am I going to achieve and reach that goal, inshallah? And all the time, of course, praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the help and guidance, because without which nothing can be accomplished. And in this same vein, the hadith, very famous hadith, is that education starts from the cradle and ends in the grave, so that this graduation and getting a certificate is simply a midpoint or start for the next stage. It's not end, but a beginning of the next stage. So we should always keep that in mind. And therefore, if we go to the word Iqra, again, not only learn, but also use it. Whatever we learn, we need to put it to use. But also the third thing also comes in very importantly, and if you look at the life of Prophet Muhammad and his companions, with which that we are blessed today, that we are gathered here in Houston to talk about it, is that we share that knowledge. Make it useful to others also. Don't be selfish. Therefore, obviously, it is embedded in it that education means that we learn, we use it, but also to share it. And look at the beauty of sharing it. Sharing it is, obviously, let me take again the example. If I know that smoking is bad, then I'm not going to do it. But now look what happens. If I'm going to share with others that smoking is bad, naturally, I'm not going to be smoking, puffing cigarettes and telling you, hey, buddy, don't smoke, it's bad, but I'm going to continue to do it. So obviously, it'll put a burden on you to put it to use. So therefore, it's very important to realize that Iqra, education, is not simply going to the school, getting it, and then khalas. You got the degree, and let's go. It's simply a continuous process. And therefore, one should always have that zeal for learning. And if you look at a professor like me in the United States at least, and perhaps now all over the world, I'm not there just teaching. In fact, teaching is maybe 10% of my job, 20% of my job, if at all. Most is what? Educating myself. Even though I'm a professor, yet I am there and I'm evaluated on go and learn. If I'm not learning, my evaluation goes down the drain. Therefore, here it also comes back is education is what? What we know is very little. It's from Allah who knows everything. So all the time recognition that Allah is all-knowing and very little that we know. It encourages all the time for this continuous process to learn. And as we learn, we share. We use, we share, and enjoy. So this is the whole thing. I'm going to tell you a thing that I learned from my visit to Cape Town, South Africa. About a year and a half or so ago, I was on a business trip to Cape Town, South Africa, beautiful place. And here, I had the opportunity to take a side trip to Robben's Island. Anyone here who has been to South Africa, Cape Town, and know what I'm talking about? No? Okay. But you know the history a little bit about South Africa. And I'm going to share you because it is in line with education. So yeah, Robben's Island is about an hour's boat ride from there. Beautiful, nice. So we went there, and Robben's Island used to be nothing but all prison. And I was fortunate that the guide who gave us the tour was also an ex-prisoner. And he happened to be a friend of Nelson Mandela, and they had also roomed together. So therefore, he told quite a bit. And the emotion and the passion with which he was telling was also superb. I'm going to share you about education in the prison with these people. Here were all the prisoners, and they took us to this place where there was a mine. And during heat, it would be very, very hot. And of course, it was all white. So, and you can sort of see Nelson Mandela and his eyes were affected because he had spent a lot of time there. But during the day and taking a break, and they said the break was nothing but a small cave. Man, about the size about here, from this size was this cave. And it was nothing but, there is where they would go for the bathroom and a little bit of eating or gathering just together for a little bit. And it was sand and dirt. And guess what they were doing at that place? They were doing but nothing but teaching. And what he told me is that from that teaching, anytime they got to get together, they would use the stick from the tree to write on the sand, and they would do teaching that way. Look at the opportunity that they took advantage of because education is so very important. Education has no time limit, no gender, no place, nothing. And this is a proof. Okay? And they told me that there were graduates out of there, master's degrees out of there with that kind of education. Okay. Another thing is then they showed us where actually Nelson Mandela was. And in order to harass these people of the high caliber of Nelson Mandela and others, they would put them, the thugs and all the other prisoners also who were filthy and dirty and, all the filthy, dirty in the sense of their minds, the robbers and all that, they would put them in that company because, the worst thing would be that we would be in company of such a thing. Yet Nelson Mandela and these people in that company, they converted them, taught them. And here, again, very impressive thing that I was so amazed to hear that. The guy who said there were gods, and what they would ask the gods to bring them, almost bribe them to bring them, were two things. One was newspaper. The second thing was pencil and a piece of paper. One pencil, they would break it into 6 or 7 pieces so that they could all share in the small room so that they could read and write and learn. Now, having said that, just go upstairs. I was so pleased to be able to go upstairs and see what a nice, beautiful place, alhamdulillah, Allah has given us. imagine 20 years ago in Houston? You think we could have imagined that there would be places like this? There was only one masjid in all of Houston when I first came here, on East Side Drive, not East Side even, on Richmond, small, tiny little place. Today, what do we have? Probably 75 places that we call masjid. In spite of our shortcomings, did we do that? No. Alhamdulillah, Allah has helped us. So in spite of our shortcomings, Allah is going to continue this process. Allah will make it happen. Now, question is, do we want to be party of Allah or do we want to be away from Allah? Even if we are away from Allah, things will take place because Allah is taking charge of it. Allah will take and will make it happen. It would be our foolishness to saying, well, I'm going to just sit at home, or our choice is be party of Allah and benefit ourselves. Allah does not need us. We need Allah. So with that, I hope that may Allah forgive me for anything wrong that I may have said and erase from our minds. If there is anything good in what I've said, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah give us the tawfiq to understand what education is and really enjoy this graduation ceremony. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Professor, for the enlightening speech. Now we're going to introduce the names of the graduates. That's for respected Molana and Nusrath to please present the class. Ebrahim, he graduated class of 2000. Tabish Aga, also class of 2000. Reza Jawla, class of 2000. Muhammad Ebrahim, class of 99. Amina Gohar, class of 99. Zulfikar Gohar, class of 2000. Mehdi Jafar, class of 99. Farhaz Karani, class of 2000. Sajjad Qasim Ali, class of 99. Zainab Kayani, class of 99. Anisa Garmali, class of 99. She's not here today. Fawad Manekia. Sarah Mohammad, class of 99. Two of them aren't here. Just two. Shakeb Sayed, class of 2000. Adila Nasser, class of 2000. Elia Naqvi, class of 99. Sayyid Reza Zaidi, class of 2000. Me, class of 99. Oh, thank you. We have college graduates. Insia Aga. She received her MD. She recently received her medical degree. Saira Ahmed. Zerha Chawla, she received a ES degree. Nasser Zebi. Ahmed Ali Khan. And Sayyid A. Reza. Those are all the graduates. Give you one big salawat. Before we end and go for refreshments, I would just like to say that we'd like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with one more milestone in our life. And with these, whether we further to go in higher education and receive degrees, it's important for us as Muslims to make a name for ourselves in a way where in capitalist America, where we're owned, is mostly run by the biggest enemies of Islam. It's important for us to make a name for ourselves and put ourselves out there so that people know that Muslims can achieve and do things as well, and that we don't have that terrorist stereotype or the negative outlook that Muslims receive. So it's very important. And with that, I'd like to thank the parents and the students, respected brothers Kuma and Molana for participating in this graduation award ceremony, and inshallah we should have it next year and watch more people graduate and throughout IEC. So thank you so much.
There's before Salat, there's some snacks outside. You can requested to join us for that, and then inshallah right after that we'll start our Maghrib. Make it quickly, because thank you very much once again.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا وما قلى
وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم By the noonday and its brightness, by the night when it darkens, has forsaken not you your Lord, nor has he been displeased with you. And verily the end is better for you than the beginning. And soon will you give and soon will give thee thy Lord that thou shalt be well pleased with. What, found he not you an orphan and sheltered you? And he found you in loss and immediately guided you? And he found you in need and immediately made you independent. Therefore unto an orphan oppress not, and as to the beggar chide him not, and as to the bounties of the Lord then announce them unto others. Sadaqallahu al-Aliyyul Azim. Salawat.
Thank you very much, Brother Haider. We have few small programs before Molana's speech. One is the students of IEC Northwest. They have prepared some presentation. I'll request Brother Murtaza to please come and present IEC Northwest. Brother Murtaza. Muhammad Ali Muhammad Salawat.
Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to present to you a glimpse of one part of Imam Ali's life. Imam Ali was a giant in all aspects of life, including worship, caring for the orphans, caring for the poor, administration, and etc. Today we will concentrate on Imam Ali's justice. We will present two examples of the judgments that he gave. You are asked to participate in the following presentation.
Assalamu alaikum. I am going to tell you about one of the cases that came before Imam Ali. You have to tell me what you think is the answer. There were two farmers. One had a bull, and the other had a donkey. One day, they found that the bull had killed the donkey. The farmer who owned the donkey demanded money for his donkey being killed. The farmer who owned the bull refused to give money. They came before Imam Ali alayhi salam. What do you think was Imam Ali's decision? Yes, brother. Not exactly. Well, it depends that if the owner of the bull should pay the owner of the donkey. Because if the donkey went into the bull's farm and the bull killed the donkey, then the owner of the bull does not have to give the owner of the donkey money. But if the owner of the bull went into the donkey's farm and killed the donkey, then the owner of the bull has to pay the owner of the donkey.
There were two people going on a journey. One had 3 loaves of bread. The other had 5 loaves of bread. A third person joined them and shared their bread. After the meal, he gave them a total of 8 coins. The person with 3 loaves wanted to split the money half and half. The other person refused. They came before Imam Ali. What do you think was his judgment? Imam Ali first suggested that they reach a compromise among themselves. When they refused, he said that the person with 3 loaves of bread should get 1 coin. The person with 5 loaves of bread should get 7 coins. This is because there were a total of 8 loaves of bread. If we break each loaf into 3 pieces, there will be 24 pieces. 9 pieces will belong to the person with 3 loaves of bread. 15 pieces will belong to the person with 5 loaves of bread. If each person ate 8 pieces of bread, then the guest ate 1 piece belonging to the person with 3 loaves of bread, and 7 pieces belonging to the person with 5 loaves of bread. Therefore, the first person should get 1 coin, the second person should get 7 coins. Salawat.
Thank you very much. These were the students of IEC Northwest. To remind you, we have a school every Friday evening at IEC Northwest location. The brothers and sisters who live in North area, they can attend the school. For more information, you can reach Brother Hassan Ali Khan. We have another presentation from our little brother Nima. Muhammad Ali Muhammad Salawat. He has prepared a surah.
Assalamu alaikum. Please give me a big salawat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Thank you very much, Brother Nima. Somebody has given you award for this surah, for reciting surah. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Now is the time for presentation from Al-Hadi School. I'll request the students of Al-Hadi to please come here and present. For Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Once there was Fatima bint Asad. She was sleeping and she dreamed of Allah giving her 4 swords. One of them just fell on the ground and disappeared. One of them fell in the sea and sank. One of them got wings and flew toward heavens. And one of them became a brave lion and ran toward the desert. The next morning she woke up and she wondered what that meant. So she went to Masjid al-Haram, which is in Mecca, and she did tawaf. And on one side of the Kaaba she said, Subhanallah. On the other side, she said Alhamdulillah. On the other side, she said Allahu Akbar. And on the other side, she said La ilaha illallah. And she did 2 rakat. Then she said, and then she said, oh Allah, 'cause she was pregnant, and she said, oh Allah, please help me with my delivery, And and before that, she saw an old man. He describes dreams, and she asked him what that dream meant. And so he said that Allah, and that's a good news, that Allah is going to give you 4 sons. One of them is just going to die regular death. One of them is going to sink. One of them, his arms will get cut off, and he will get wings and fly toward the heavens. And one of them will become very brave and shuja. And he was Imam Ali. Okay. And so she got pregnant and with Imam Ali, and so she did dua to Allah, and she said, please give me a good delivery. And all of a sudden, the wall of the Kaaba just cracked open, and Fatima bint Asad went in, and then the wall closed back. And she stayed there. She stayed in the Kaaba for 3 days, and she got food from heaven from Angel Jibril. And the guards that were guarding the Kaaba, they tried everything to open the Kaaba, but they couldn't. And so Imam Ali was born, and so she got out, and she saw the Prophet, and he congratulated her, and then he said, what's the name of your baby? As soon as she wanted to say Ali, Angel Jibril came, and he said, Allah congratulates you, and said that he loves that baby so much that he wants to give him a name of his names. And it was Imam Ali. So she said that his name was Imam Ali.
Assalamualaikum. Imam Ali, during the time of his Khilafat, he was in charge of Baytul Mal. He had to make sure that money was divided among the Muslims equally because it belonged to everybody. And Imam Ali had one brother. He had 3 brothers. His oldest one, Agheed, he was very old and he was blind. And then Agheed, he just wanted some extra money from Baytul Mal, and because Imam Ali was in charge of it, he went to Imam Ali and asked him, because he was his family member, so he thought that, oh, of course Imam Ali is going to give me more money. So he went to Imam Ali and asked him if he could get extra money. And Imam Ali said, no, I can't give you extra money. This belongs to the people. I have to give it equally. Even though you're my brother, I can't give it to you. And then Agheed, he still started to argue. He got disappointed. And then Imam Ali, he got some iron and he put it by the fire. And then he heated it. And because Agheed was blind, he couldn't see what Imam Ali was doing. So Imam Ali put the iron close to Agheed's hand, and Agheed's like, ow, that hurt because it burnt. And then Imam Ali said, you're afraid of the fire that I made, and you're not afraid of the fire that Allah has made. This money belongs to the Muslims, and I have to give it to everybody equally. So you're going to get the same share as everybody else. And Imam Ali, he had lots of sayings, and I think they would be really good for you to know. Beware of misers and evil. These are people who do not fear Allah. By Allah, nobody except the faithful befriends me, and nobody except hypocrites become my enemy. Get your proposition from the world, and the best proposition is to avoid committing sins. No work is better to Allah than prayers. Muslims are the mirror of Muslims. If you happen to see a slip of a Muslim, advise and guide him politely. Treat people in such a way and live amongst them in such a manner that when you die, they miss you, and while you live, they crave for your company. And although this hadith is not by Prophet Muhammad, I think it has a lot to do for Imam Ali. He said that I am the city of knowledge and Ali is his door. And there's lots of things that you can interpret from this, but I think it means that when Prophet Muhammad died, he left all his knowledge with Imam Ali. So then Imam Ali was like the door. He opened it and he like taught everybody about Islam and everything. Salawat.
Thank you very much. This was the presentation from Al-Hadi School. We have a presentation from our Sunday school, Hanna Meghji and Sara Meghji, Sister Hanna Meghji and Sara Meghji. For Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, Salawat. Bari digar salawat.
Born in Makkah, inside the Kaaba, into the arms of Fatima, was Ali, the father of Rasulullah. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Waliullah. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Wasi Rasulullah. Abdul Muttalib was his grandfather. Abu Talib was his father. Abdullah was his uncle. Fatima was his mother. Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Waliullah. Ya Wasi, Ya Wasi, Ya Wasi Rasulullah. Come to Islam, come to Islam. Come and submit to the will of God. Come to Iman, and have faith in Ahlul Bayt. Salawat. Salawat.
Aliyun, 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 Ali, the hope and salvation of all the muttaqeen. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the guide and the leader of all the mu'mineen. The path of true wisdom, the gate to an-Nabi, a light of the ummah for all the world to see. The joy of Muhammad, the closest to his heart, the first of believers, mujahid from the start. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the light of the Ummah, Amir al-Mu'mineen, was born for to guide us, Imam al-Muttaqeen. The earth it rejoiced in our blessing for mankind. No man except Mustafa superior we find. Protector of Muhammad to lie where he lay. To misguide assassins Ali would not delay. To ensure the message of Allah was his aim. To help and work for Allah and free the world from pain. Aliyun, 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 Ali. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the hope and salvation of all the muttaqeen. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the guide and the leader of all the mu'mineen. The path of true wisdom, the gate to an-Nabi, a light of the ummah for all the world to see. The joy of Muhammad, the closest to his heart, the best of believers, mujahid from the start. Aliyun, 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 Ali. And now we celebrate him, we call out his name. He gave us blessed children, Hassan and Hussein. No act of self-indulgence against sins proclaimed. He called for all believers to free themselves of pain. The heirs of Muhammad and blessed Ali, of the Ummah of Islam around the world we see. To prove that we love him, mujahids we must be. To hold the rope of Allah and call for unity. Unity, 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 unity. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the hope and salvation of all the muttaqeen. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the guide and the leader of all the mu'mineen. The path of true wisdom, the gate to an-Nabi, a light of the Ummah for all the world to see. The joy of Muhammad, the closest to his heart, the first of believers, mujahid from the start. Aliyun, 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 Ali. The enemies, the mushriks, the kafirs and Yahud, the friends of the poor ones and all of the good. He fought against the wicked and all munafiqeen. He fought with Allah's ummah for all mustad'afeen. The sword of Ja'ali, the sword of true might, the sword of pure Islam, the sword of pure light. The message of Allah continued by Ali to lead all the Muslims to Muhammad Nabi. Aliyun, 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 Ali. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the hope and salvation of all the muttaqeen. Aliyun, 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 Ali, the guide and the leader of all the mu'mineen. The path of true wisdom, the gate to an-Nabi, a light of the Ummah for all the world to see. The joy of Muhammad, the closest to his heart, the first of believers, mujahid from the start. Aliyun, 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 Ali. Salawat.
MashaAllah, thank you very much. I'll now request Brother Ashiq Raza to please come and recite a qasida for Imam Hazrat Ali alayhi salam. Bar Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
Bar Habib Habiya Khatimul Anbiya salawat. In praise of Maula Ali. Maula Ali Ali, Maula Ali Ali, Maula Ali Ali, Maula Ali Ali, Maula Ali Ali. دین کا داتا جگت کا مالک سب کا پالن ہار مولا علی علی مولا علی علی مولا نبی ولی ابدال قلندر سب تیرے گن گاتے ہیں جب بھی کوئی مشکل پڑتی ہے تیرے در پہ آتے ہیں نبی ولی ابدال قلندر سب تیرے گن گاتے ہیں جب بھی کوئی مشکل پڑتی ہے تیرے در پہ آتے ہیں جس نے پکارا جب بھی پکارا سب کے آیا کام مولا علی علی مولا علی علی مولا چلتی ہوائیں بہتے دریا کیا گلشن کیا فرش زمین سورج چاند ستارے ہی کیا خلد بری کیا عرش بری حور و ملک کیا جن و بشر کیا سب ہیں تیرے غلام مولا علی علی مولا علی علی ارے مڑ جاتا ہے حق بھی ادھر کو رخ تیرا ہو جائے جدھر تیرے اشاروں پر چلتا ہے سارا نظام شمس و قمر تو چاہے تو دن ہو جائے تو چاہے تو رات مولا علی علی مولا علی علی درباروں میں بازاروں میں تیرا ذکر جو کرتے ہیں، بولنے والی تصویروں میں رنگ وفا کے بھرتے ہیں، روز قیامت وہ پائیں گے منہ مانگا انعام، مولا علی علی، مولا علی علی۔ جتنے زمانے بیت چکے ہیں سب یہی بتلاتے ہیں، وقت کو تیرے چاہنے والے کب خاطر میں لاتے ہیں، ہر دم تیرا ذکر کیا ہے، دن دیکھا نہ رات، مولا علی علی، مولا علی علی، مولا عشق میں تیرے وار دیا ہے اپنا سب کچھ تن من دھن، اے مولا ان دیوانوں کا دیکھ ذرا دیوانہ پن، بے خود ہو کر جھوم رہے ہیں سن کر تیرا نام، مولا علی علی، مولا علی علی، ارے میسا مسلمہ اور ابو ذر سب ہم کو پہچانے ہیں، تیری گلی کے بھکشو ہیں ہم، پمبر ہم کو جانے ہیں، میسا مسلمہ اور ابو ذر سب ہم کو پہچانے ہیں، تیری گلی کے بھکشو ہیں ہم، پمبر ہم کو جانے ہیں، بھیج دے مولا بھیج دے اب حسنین کا صدقہ کر دے بیڑا پار، مولا علی علی، مولا علی علی، مولا علی علی، بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات۔
Subhanallah. Now I'll request Brother NamakFrosh to please come and recite a qasida in Farsi. For Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad salawat.
نعره حیدری علی بر محمد و آل محمد صلوات. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. السلام علیک یا حضرت نبی اکرم، حضرت مصطفی محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم. السلام علیک به صاحب مولای من آقا علی ابن ابی طالب علیه السلام و السلام علیک به عاشقان راستین و شیعیان و با معرفت علی ابن ابی طالب علیه السلام. First of all, I want to congratulate this extraordinary occasion to all Qudsiyan and Khakiyan. در آسمان دیانت مهی منور تافت، درون بیت الهی علی تولد یافت. به نور روشن خود پرده های جل شکافت، ز پرنیان فروغش ردای ایمان بافت. بدین مناسبت ای دوستان آل رسول، بدین مناسبت ای دوستان آل رسول، درود و تهنیتم پیشتان شود مقبول. نار حیدری، نار حیدری، نار حیدری، یا علی. I beg you, all of you, brother and sister, we pray for each other, and I really ask for I beg you for your dua. This one which I'm gonna recite, I need your help. I believe everybody can collaborate because it has Ya Ghawhir al-Adub Ya Wawli al-Wali Ya Mazhar al-Ajawib Ya Murtazali. Call him. Tonight is the night. Everybody, when I reach to that point, hand up and you call Mola. ای در کف تو خاتم اقلیم سرمدی، ای در کف تو خاتم اقلیم سرمدی، سقف در تو عرش سپهر زبرجدی، جبریل با 1000 عقول مجردی، در مکتب علوم تو چون طفل ابجدی، از تو رواج قاعده شر احمدی، قایم به ذوالفقار تو دین محمدی. یا قاهر العدو یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. ای والی ولایت و ای شحنه نجف، ای گوهر یگانه و ای نطفه خلف، بی تو زندگی به همه عالمی تلف. ای آفتاب روشن و ای ماه بی کلف، ای قایل سلونی و دانای من عرف، از مقدم شریف تو آفاق را شرف. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا اظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. ای قرص آفتاب ز روی تو منجلی، وی ذاکران عرش ز خوان تو ممتلی، کرده بر آستان تو جبریل سایلی، بر دور دایرت سفر همایلی، خطی نوشتند به اسلوب محقلی، یعنی که کل هم و غم سینجلی. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. شاها تویی به کل بشر مالک الرقاب، که از انما ولیکم الله شدت خطاب، بیرون بود گمان تو از دفتر و حساب. ای راه تو ثواب و دعای تو مستجاب، بر دور گنبد فلک از نور آفتاب، بنوشته نام احمد و القاب بوتراب. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. در گلشن ولای علی سرو و یاسمن، سروش حسین آمده یا حسین، سروش حسین آمده و یاسمن حسن، زین العباد و باقر و جعفر در این چمن، چون کاظم و رضا گل و نسرین و یاسمن، موسی تقی بنفشه نقی عسکری حسن، مهدی شکوفی است لبان شسته با لبن. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. یا قاهر العدو یا والی الولی یا مظهر العجایب یا مرتضی علی. نعره حیدری یا علی. صلوات. اللهم صل علی محمد.
Hassan, before I invite Qasida in Arabic, we have our guest from Austin who has come here especially for this program. He has few verses. Brother Hassan Akhtar from Austin. For Muhammad Ali Muhammad Salawat.
Thank you very much.
السلام علیکم. چند اشعار ہیں امام علی کی نظر کی خدمت میں. اجازت ہو تو پیش کروں. صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد. ہلچل ہے مچی کیوں اہل کرم کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. ہلچل ہے مچی کیوں اہل کرم کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. خوشبو سی بسی ہے کیوں ہر سو کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. ہے باد صبا کیوں اٹھلاتی کس بات پہ نازاں ہوتی ہے. ہے باد صبا کیوں اٹھلاتی کس بات پہ نازاں ہوتی ہے. ہے خبر یہ کس کے آنے کی کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. کعبہ یہ فخر سے کہتا ہے مولود کی میرے آمد ہے. کعبہ یہ فخر سے کہتا ہے مولود کی میری آمد ہے. اللہ کا ولی احمد کا وسیع اور نام علی کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. اللہم صلی اللہ محمد و آل محمد یا علی. کوثر کا سخی امت کا شفیع خلقت کا امام اول ہے. کوثر کا سخی امت کا شفیع خلقت کا امام اول ہے. اس کا ہے جشن اے اہل وفا کونین کے گوشے گوشے میں. السلام علیکم. صلوات. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل. شکریہ.
MashaAllah. I'll request now Brother Ali Mirab and his friends for Qasida in Arabic and Farsi. For Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad Salawat.